Hello. Hey, how you doing? we're here. Sorry for being late, guys. Um, Dustin was ordering some foods. Here he comes right now. Hey, it's Dustin.
Yo,
We're
all right,
live.
guys, we're here. We're live, and I guess we'll kind of hang out for a few minutes and
See what's going on.
Wait for some people to come in here.
There's a little thing we gotta click.
Then we'll just hop into it. And
hello, Corey.
Corey, what's up, dude?
Hey, thanks for waiting for us. Sorry we're late.
Yep. How's it going, man? Have you watched the new video that I dropped? I think you have. I think you messaged me earlier and said that you'd watched it. So, got a lot to talk about, I guess.
You want to start with a recap of what happened first?
Can. So,
you were ready for the show last time we talked.
Yeah, so Carmen was ready.
I was not ready. So, last time we talked was the Sunday before.
Yep.
Was the Sunday before Cleetus and Cars. Nothing changed on Monday. I had actually had parts that were on order. They showed up on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, Susbug started and ran for the first time. So this guy had a car. When did Carmen start running?
Carmen was ready. I did a lot of stuff on the previous Friday, but I mean, she had been running for months. Yeah, I took her to the night of destruction.
When was the first night your engine fired? Like January, February,
something like that. Yeah, it was early.
So January, February, he had an engine that was running.
What's up, Redneck Hobbit?
It's the Hobbit.
What's up, man?
Hey, buddy. Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for all your help.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot, and super cool. Totally appreciate all the help.
But
if you're not subscribed to the Redneck Hobbit, make sure you go over and check his channel out and get subscribed to the Redneck Hobbit. He's got a lot of stuff coming. I know he's been kind of working on getting some new content and stuff coming out for people.
And Corey, you got to come next year. You got to come with us and just hang out. It's a good time. Hobbit will tell you. It's fun.
Yep, it's a good time. It's fun.
But Dustin had Carmen running in February,
something like that. Yeah,
and I literally got Susbug running for the first time. The first time I hit the ignition switch, I hit the starter, and it fired up, and it ran. Was on Tuesday, and
awesome.
And Cleetus and Cars was on Saturday, and it was a huge relief that the engine ran. But then there was the whole get a burnout, make it happen.
Will the Beetle do a burnout?
Yeah, will the Beetle do a burnout? So let me kind of tell the story of that just real quick.
Yeah, that was fun.
So my brother comes over on Wednesday because I sent him the video of it firing, and my brother's just like, "Yeah, let's go!" And he's like, "Let's do a burnout." And I'm like, "I haven't adjusted the brakes. I really haven't adjusted the clutch. I really don't, know if the shifter's in right because Dustin took it out." And so we're messing around with it. My brother's just every 10 minutes, do a burnout. And it's finally
it was fun in the pits, talking to people, and everybody was interested in the Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And a lot of people asked, well, is this thing going to do a burnout? And I was like, I don't know. Last I knew, Jason said he just started it 2 days ago. So, yeah. I mean, it was a lot of anticipation and surprise for everyone.
Yeah, including me.
Including Jason. And so, I mean, that was cool.
So Wednesday night, my brother finally had talked me into trying it. So I put this thing in first gear. I give her the beans, and pop the clutch, and it doesn't do a burnout. It just does a wheelie. This thing straight goes for the sky. I had nothing but sky in the windshield, and I was like, uh-oh. And I set it down, and my brother was like, that was really cool, but that wasn't a burnout. So Thursday and Friday, I still had things to finish up before we go to Cleetus and Cars. So I had Thursday and Friday off of work. So I spent those like frantically like finishing up the last minute details so that I was ready to freaking go for Cleetus and Cars. So we rolled into Cleetus and Cars like literally Saturday with like the Susbug literally doing one attempt at a burnout, and instead of doing a burnout, just doing an epic wheelie. No video, but
yeah, there's no video. He told me he did a wheelie, but I didn't believe him because I've heard stories of people jumping pop cans and dollar bills,
Yeah.
And I said, hey, where's the video? And yeah, I didn't get one. So I don't know. His brother said he might have it on video. But anyway.
Yeah, let's pull that down just a little bit.
But yes, I am planning on doing the next Night of Destruction.
Yeah.
Jason does plan on doing Night of Destruction as well. And
hopefully,
the Beetle, if we can make it do a burnout, we've got lots of ideas, lots of brainstorming and planning on ways that we can get Susbug to do burnouts, since it's got quite a few things going against it.
A lot of weight in the rear being one of them.
Yeah. So, that is a plan, Corey. We will be there. If you're going to be there, hit me up and let me know, and we'll make sure we meet up with you. And, you can check the car out. We can chat, whatever, hang out and stuff. Because obviously we've got people in the pits when we go, and then we've also got people in the stands. So it's kind of like the double take. I'm trying to get a hold of New Paris Speedway and kind of talk with them and see if there's a way I can get table set up with and sell merch. Because I know there's people that want stickers and they want merch and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and talk to people.
Let kids sit on the car.
Take pictures with the car, whatever, stuff like that. I don't like having the car in the pits that you have to pay extra just to see the car. I understand why they have a second charge for the pits, because it covers your car's entry, and it also they don't want a bunch of riffraff of people in there, little kids getting hurt. I understand that too. So,
but on the other hand, we're all for kids.
So I just have to talk
people
with the track
and like letting people like talk to us and have a good time. So we'll work on that. We'll see if we can't get something done.
I just got to talk to the track and see what works best for them to get that all set up. We may have to have the car or the cars in the pits until after the burnouts, and then pull them up into general parking or something like that. I don't know, but I'll get that all ironed out.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to have them like up like in like the concession area or something, like
or
not in the
close,
way, but like maybe like off to the side or something where people can come over and
take a picture with the car,
with the car,
with us, chit chat, get some free stickers or whatever.
Yeah, hang out, have a good time.
Yeah. So that's kind of a plan. You want your wife to let you drag race the Kia? That'd be cool.
Dude.
You could go up. There's a group here locally. They race at Mentone at the drag. It's actually the airport.
At the airport,
and they do. I think it's once a month, and they rent the airport, and then they run drag racing up there. They have street. They have a couple different classes. They run street, and then they got like modifieds and stuff like that. But everything has to be. It's no prep, no nothing. Like just. It's like you see on Discovery Channel. Like these guys are out there and they're betting, they're gambling, they're doing all this cool stuff. So
would you race the Kia in Carmen Electra?
Do what? Against?
Yeah.
Would I race against
the Kia?
Yeah, I would drag race the Kia.
I'd drag race the Kia too in Susbug.
Yeah, you'd have to find all the gears though.
I'd have to find gears.
I just put it in D.
He says, no, Speedway.
Oh, you want to race it up at New Paris? Okay.
One lap, no crap?
Yeah, that would be cool. You could do the racing that I like up there is I like the no contact drag racing because the cars don't hit each other.
What?
Or the spectator figure eights. Because to me, kind of like Carmen, I don't like the demo derbies because demo derby is fun, but it's a one and done.
Yeah,
you build the car, you destroy the car, then okay, time to buy another car. where, like with the burnout thing with Carmen, she doesn't have to be perfect. She doesn't have to be great. She just makes tire smoke, and I can do that time after time. As long as I don't blow the engine up, basically.
Yeah, which is an option.
When you do like the trailer races and some of those other competitions they have up there at Night of Destruction, you basically, the cars, by the time you're done with one, you either have massive amounts of repairs to do before the next Night of Destruction, or the car's just trash.
Yeah.
So, to me, I like the no contact one-on-one drags, beat the clock, because they're street cars, and then the spectator figure eight, because they do have a little bit of contact there, but the cars generally aren't destroyed after.
You know what? That'd be fun, one-on-one clock for like Carmen versus Sus.
Yeah, I got to get the brakes done. But once I get the rear brakes on it, like I would run it. I'm going to put brand new shocks, and then the no contact. Yep, 100%.
That'd be a fun one. You know what? Like, it doesn't even have to be for the crowd. It could just be, for bragging rights amongst us.
Yeah, like I got a burnout car, and who's got the fastest street car?
Yeah, like, let's see who does one lap, no crap. Let's find out.
It would be fun. That would definitely be fun. Yeah. I kind of kicked around the idea of maybe building a car for that, but I haven't, fully committed to that. I do have the Camaro.
You do have the Ranger as well.
I do. The Ranger is pretty rough, but I've been kicking around the idea of the Camaro and doing the Dragon drives with it. I need to get it painted. It's other than Carmen got accepted into the burnouts, or I would have been already working on painting the Camaro.
Oh my word!
But the Camaro's on my list. It's next to get painted, and so we're gonna start working on that probably in the next 4 to 5 weeks.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see.
Then I may do drag and drive with the Camaro, or I may take it up to those guys like I was talking about that are at the local airport up here.
Yeah,
and maybe do street class with it, just to have fun, something to do, throw a GoPro on the dash, and you guys can watch me attempt to not lose. I like the in-car cameras. I think they're really cool. Yeah. Just watching people flop around inside the car, and then kind of get the outside view too.
So we got a few questions here from like just general conversation between me and Dustin.
Yeah.
And just from like our family, like we've not, Dustin's nonstop talked about this for a week. I've nonstop talked about this for a week. Like, we've talked to each other. We've talked to like our friends and family about this for a week. So one of the funny things that, like, I thought this was really interesting. Like, at Cleetus and Cars, they do like an intro song. They do like a car song, like a theme song. And I had thought about this, and Dustin had not at all. Like, he literally...
Yeah, I completely forgot that it was even a thing. Like, he had mentioned to me that we had theme songs, and then, like, I went to Night of Destruction and did that thing, and then I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I completely spaced it.
So you show up, and they hand you a piece of paper, and they say, what song do you want to
they're like, what song do you want for your theme song? And I was like, I get one. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, what should it be? And the guy's like, I don't know. I'm not you. I'm like, fair. So I kind of thought about it for a second. And so I went with Fuel by Metallica because I was like, okay, that's a cool song. It's Metallica. Everybody knows Metallica. Like, it was either that, or I also like 1,000 Horsepower by Godsmack. That's a pretty good song. I also like Best Show on Earth by Kid Rock, because I think that would have been a cool one. But the intros on those,
it was Metallica,
right? Yeah. The intros on those are a little bit longer, and I wanted it to like go straight in. And I know Metallica's Fuel kind of goes like straight into the hard stuff, so that's kind of why I picked that. But I think I have.
So before he goes further on to this, I chose Tom Petty, Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Yeah,
just because it had like Indiana Boys and Indiana Nights, like kind of in the beginning of it, and it's a sus bug. It's a Beatle. It kind of needs to be some trippy hippie kind of stuff,
like chilled out, kind of mellowed, like
something. Yeah, that you might partake in some
tomfoolery,
legal stuff with. So that's kind of why I chose that. But
it's a good song. I like it.
Anyways,
Tom Petty's cool.
I think this comedy. I think this conversation would actually be fun. Like moving forward, what kind of song would you choose?
So I've been kicking this around, and I was like, what song would do Carmen the best? So I've come up with this, okay, and mind you, okay, I've been coming up thinking about, okay, I want a song that everyone knows, everyone can sing, and everybody enjoys. And I'm like, and it has to fit my car. So like, I guess if you have a third gen Camaro or you have a Firebird, everybody's thinking Metallica, AC/DC, you know, all the like 70s, 80s like hair bands. You know, you could do Motley Crue, you could do like there's all kinds of stuff, and people will be like they associate it with that, like it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you have other cars where you're like, okay, if the guy's got an F-150 pickup truck, he's probably going to do country. You know what I mean? Because a country song, and there's always, you know, guys with their pickup trucks or the tractors or whatever. And so it kind of makes sense. It kind of, you know, the things.
Mama got ran over by the dang dough train.
It kind of like it blends together, right? And it makes sense. So I'm like, well, what do I do with Carmen? So I've come up with Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back, because she's a giant ass boat. She's got a big old rear end. And I like to swing it all around in the burnout pit. And everybody knows the song. Everybody loves the song. And I think even if I did horrible and blew the engine up, the entire crowd could sing along. And I just think that's a great idea. It's funny. It's got character. And it kind of adds to the whole, you know, montage of the burnout car kind of showmanship, I guess.
Yeah.
Going forward, I think that's going to be my burnout song next year, unless I come up with something better than that. But I've got 12 months.
Yeah, you got 12 months to boop bloop 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 something down below. Like, what should the theme song be for Carmen Electra when she rolls out into the burnout pit?
Yeah, next year. Is Sir Mix-a-Lot? Is that good enough? Is that great? Is that a good one? Or, you know,
what other song would be good?
What other songs would be good?
What other songs would be good for the sus bug? Like, right. You know, should I go like Grateful Dead or should I go like Rammstein? You know, like
I say Rammstein, just because I like heavy metal and it's cool. Everybody knows it. I mean, nobody knows what they're saying most of the time. You'd have to like Google Translate it or something.
Yeah, but
it would be cool. It'd be a heavy hitter.
Yeah,
and it would be total redemption. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm going to need some after this year.
Touch of Grey would not be a bad song.
Yeah,
Touch of Grey.
Yeah,
from the old Deadheads.
Cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, or Keep On Trucking.
No, it's not a truck though.
Point taken. I want to roll the windows down and have smoke roll out. Like
that would be cool. Put a fog machine in it.
Put like 3 fog machines in it and like get it done.
Right. So if anybody watched the video, I'm sure most of you guys have watched the video.
Corey's asking about Night of Destruction.
Okay, so he says what? He can
May or July. He's saying August. He'll be there.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's cool. I'll probably be there in August. It's what, August 5th? Okay, because I can't do the one in July. I'll be out of town, so I won't be there in July. I'll be at this next one here in May, and then August 5th. I don't believe I have anything going on August 5th, so I'll probably be there. I'm going to go to every NOD that I can.
Yeah,
as long as the car runs, and I'm not going to be out of town doing something else. I know there's a couple of other burnout competitions. I've been on the Google box, and I've been looking for other burnout competitions because at Cleetus and Cars, I got to swing around. And you know, we got to do these donuts.
Way different. It's way different.
It's a whole nother animal. And so I've been trying to find other burnout competitions that are within driving distance.
We found one in Shipshewana.
Yeah, there's one in Shipshewana, which is close by here, and they have a burnout competition. So I'm probably going to be there. I'm going to be set up as a vendor. I'll have hats, T-shirts, stickers. Hanging out, talking to people. Letting everybody know, check out our YouTube channel and check out our videos and all the fun stuff.
So how about a recap of like how we did?
Yes,
at
because
Cleetus and Cars.
I believe Corey did ask. He said he asked how we did as far as like the competition goes. So the way that works is they have a list and they give it to everybody. I didn't even get the list. I just kind of read it over a guy's shoulder, and they tell you how you get points and how you acquire points to figure out who gets what place in the burnout competition. I knew that I probably wasn't even going to be close to the top 5. I was just happy to be there. So I just kind of read the rules to see. There's a lot of them. Like if you, it's 5 points for each tire that pops. When you leave the burnout pad, you get points for how quick you make tire smoke, your amount of tire smoke, continuously using the entire pad. There's some other things on there that you get more points
Catching
for.
on fire's bad.
Yeah, like they've got a few rules on there. You can't move the barrier. You can hit the barriers, but you can't move the barrier, which I did. And I did good. They said tap the barriers, but don't move them, guys. And guess what? I tapped the barrier. I didn't move the barrier. I moved my tail light and my bumper, but I didn't move the barrier. So they, I don't know what place, I guess, technically I got, but I don't really even care. I was just excited to be there, have a good time, give you guys a show, and make a cool video. My adrenaline was like on a whole nother planet. And so
I think that Hobbit can attest to like how panicked I was, like standing there getting ready to go. Like I was absolutely like I would have tagged him in at that point. Like anybody else could have done it other than me.
Well, you didn't tell me that. I'd have drove both cars.
Yeah, but
I would have broke the Beetle for sure.
I honestly attempted to do a burnout, but I didn't do a burnout. I went to a burnout competition and didn't do a burnout.
Well, you were the outlier.
Yeah, I was
Dare to be different.
You
showed up with a Beetle.
Yep.
And you had a VR6 in it. And you were supposed to do a burnout, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm not even going to do that.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to like
whatever,
roll in a circle and drive out.
Check my car out. I'm out."
So I didn't do a burnout, but I can also say I didn't do the worst burnout. Like there was 46 people that showed up.
46, 47 cars. There was a bunch of cars.
But there was at least one car that like literally just like rolled up there, dumped the clutch, and broke. So I'm going to say that I did at least better than one car.
And I did hear, if you watch the video and you listen really close, when Jason dumps the clutch out there, when he takes off and he gets out there, and then you hear him just like freaking redline.
Give her the beans.
He gives it all the beans and he dumps the clutch. And I swear I heard a which is technically a burnout. I mean, it's not a very good one. It's not a very long one, but
it happened.
He didn't just drop the clutch.
I didn't just drop the clutch and blow the transmission up. So,
I mean, technically he beat that guy.
Yeah, so technically out of 46, I got 45th. So
at least 45th. And then there was an airplane, and he didn't do very good either. But I didn't remember. I didn't see him run because he was long after me, and I didn't get back up into the stands in time to watch the end of the open class because I was busy dealing with my car and recording for you guys and doing all that stuff.
So let's get to another question. Something my sister asked me was, my sister's down in Florida right now, and she asked, what was your favorite thing on the weekend? So I think like Dustin, like for me, like personally, the burnout was like not memorable at all because I didn't really do one.
We remember.
But everybody else will remember. Nobody will let this.
It's on video, Jason.
Nobody's going to let this one go. But like my favorite thing was like being in the pits and having like literally 1,000 people, thousands of people walk by the pits and say, my parents had a Beetle. I have a Beetle. Somebody I know has a Beetle.
Yeah. Will this Beetle do a burnout? And then you're like, I don't know.
But like just being in the pits and having like all the people walk by and just like interacting with them and just talking like was so much fun. And it was a good time. It was such a good time. Like that was worth so much more than the burnout to me.
Like sharing, just talking to people and sharing with them. Like they're like, why are you doing this? How did you get here? What made you do this? Like, like what's the plan? Like why a Beetle? Why why a Buick? Why do this? Why do that? And it's cool and fun to just share stories with people because, like he said, so many people came up to me. They're like, my dad had a Buick Electra, blah, 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 blah. Like, my grandpa had one of these, or I had one of these, and I used to drive it all the time, and I wish I still had it, or it was so nice. Like, this thing was like a Cadillac back in the day. I'm like, it still is. I mean, other than like the mouse and rat nests and a couple of the seats. I mean, technically, it is still as nice as it was before, as long as you can, look past all the things that aren't nice anymore.
Yeah.
But, it was just fun talking with those people and sharing stories and hearing their stories of like, oh, this car will do a burnout because back the one I had, man, we used to do burnouts all the time and all these cool stories and like just kind of, chit chat and getting to know people, sharing, our YouTube channel with people, getting the word out. And
I think that was like really the cool thing. Like, I was amazed at how many people knew that it was the VR6 that was in my car. Like, a VR6 is not a really common engine, but like there was a lot of people that like looked at that thing and were like, that's a VR6.
Yeah, there was a bunch of Volkswagen guys, and there was people like
shocking.
Jason would like go to the bathroom, or he would go get some cheese fries or something, and then people would just like flock to the car, and they're like asking me questions, and I'm like, honestly, I know it's a Volkswagen, and it's German, and I helped like screw some of these floor pans in here, but as far as like the technical, like I know it's a VR6. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
So I can't explain to you guys about this car, but there were so many people that were interested in it and wanted to talk about it that were Volkswagen people that did know what that was and what it was doing, which was so cool.
But the same thing for the Buick.
I would always be like, go talk to Jason.
Yeah.
He's right there.
But the same thing with the Buick things. Like when you see somebody walk up with a Grand National, like with a little spool turbo, like
like other Buick people. Yeah,
you're like, go talk to this guy.
Yep. So it was lots of fun. And I met lots of people that were like, oh, that Buick's so cool, blah blah blah.
Yeah, 455, gonna burn them tires.
Yep, and it did. I did okay. I didn't do as good as I wanted to do. I had high expectations for myself, like I always do. And I didn't let myself down. I was super stoked. I had a great time. It was friggin' awesome. If I could have literally rolled out of the burnout pad and went back and got back in line and had 10 minutes to regroup, I'd have been 10 times better.
Yeah.
But
that's the game.
Yeah, you're challenged with A, you have to build a burnout car. B, you have to show up with a burnout car. And then C,
you have to figure it out on the spot.
You have to learn how to do a good burnout smoke show in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And, you've got a 2-minute learning curve there. And so, it's 100%. I'm coming back next year. I'm going to be bigger, badder, better, more smoke, more everything. Like it's going to be freaking awesome. I don't know. I'm 150% confident that I will be 150% better. I'm not going to win. I'm not saying that I'm going to take any trophies or anything crazy like that. But it will be a better smoke show, and it'll be,
And see, for me, like that 150% better, like, I mean, anything better than 0 is like infinite.
Yeah. I mean, better than
so yeah, my plans are definitely my plans are definitely to be back next year. And my plans are to actually do a burnout. Like,
oh yeah, the colored tires, Corey. So
you actually have to spin them to make the colored smoke.
So what's cool is I can get those tires. I know where to get them. I know how to get them, all that stuff. They are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
I think to get a pair of colored tires, any color you want, is $600 to $700, roughly. Jason actually had colored tires on his car,
but they have to like, so they actually have to like.
Nobody knew.
I
mean,
Nobody knew.
If they weren't blue, if they were green, I would have put them on my car, and then I would have made green smoke. But and not because my car is green, but because green is the color of money.
Yeah, green's the color of money.
I know that's stupid. It's supposed to be.
So I think that kind of covers our goals for next year. My goal for next year literally is redemption. Like, I want to show up with Susbug and do a burnout.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
And your goals for next year is to like not get trapped, like not get in a conundrum where you don't know what to do.
So yeah, my biggest thing was they give you 2 minutes. Okay, you get 2 minutes. I don't know when the first minute's over. And I don't know when the second minute is over until they ring the bell. So what I want to do is I want to get an egg timer because I'm cheap and lazy. You know, the old turn dial one like your grandma had on top of the old stove. And I'm just going to like screw it to the dash or Velcro it right to the dash.
Keep it off the wall. Dustin's goal is to keep it off the wall.
Yeah, well, you know, I had a tough job keeping it off the wall. I did pretty good. I did make Cleetus a little concerned. If you watch the video, I like that. That's probably like my favorite part of my entire burnout video is when Cleetus is like, whoa,
he jumps off the wall and like takes like 4 steps back and is like,
he's like,
he's concerned.
I'm stepping away from the situation.
he's definitely like,
that was awesome. But like I was saying, I need to get an egg timer on there. I want to put it to go off at 1 minute. That way I can go out there, I can spin around, I can make tire smoke, everything like that. It's bing, it's been 1 minute. You're either in the middle of, you know, doing a burnout, spinning around, doing donuts or whatever, and then you just find a spot to just park it and end the tires. Do the end smoke show. I mean, I don't even have to park it on the wall because I can just hold the brake down and then just run her into third and just let it eat. But basically, without an egg timer, you don't know when to start your grand finale. Basically, you know, I think of it kind of like fireworks. It has to be cool in the beginning. So like, you know, the Sir Mix-a-Lot intro song, and then you got your little smoke show, and then you come in, you're spinning around, you're doing cool stuff, and everybody's anticipating everything. You have your show, and then it progressively, you got your smoke, things get better, and then you have like your grand finale where you just like park it, burn them down, or explode it or drop a drive shaft or something. You know, something cool happens. And so without that timer and a good I guess a good idea of your time, that's not possible. I didn't know that before because I never done this before. So learned a lot.
So let's talk the next question we had. This is like my brother. Like my brother's like, what are you going to do better next year than you did this year? So like improvements, and the first one of these is like let's save cars for the last, because I think we could talk for cars forever. So let's talk about like pits. Like, what would you do better in the pits?
In the pits, I would get a better pit location. Not that one was terrible by any means. It was decent, but I would like to be
closer to the bleachers.
I'd like to be closer to the bleachers and more up by the burnout cars. We were kind of at the end of the NHRA drag cars, which is fine, but we're not drag cars. So I'd kind of like to get there a little bit earlier. But again, I had my whole family there and friends and everything else. So we were a little bit late getting in. We weren't late by any means, but I think the gates opened at 8, and I think we got there at like 8:45 or 9 o'clock. So we could have been there at 8 o'clock waiting and maybe got a little bit better pit spot. Also, I didn't know how things worked. I didn't know how things were organized or any of that stuff. We've learned all that stuff now. We know how they pick spots. We know where to get spots. We know who to talk to, where to talk to people. I mean, we literally walked all the way around the track looking for the tech shed.
And it was like 100 yards.
And it was literally, we could see it from our pit stalls. But we walked but we didn't 15 miles because we didn't know. And we were looking at the map and we're nervous. We're like, oh.
We didn't even know who to ask.
But we're the new guys. Like, we don't know what we're doing.
You know, so one of the things I would do different in the pits is like just interact more with people. Like, I tried to interact with everybody that came up to the car, and I tried to start,
which is good. Yep, that's exactly what you
and I did that, but like I felt like I could be better at that, and I felt like you know, like I could talk more about his car, and he could probably talk more about my car, and we could, you know, also talk about our merch and our channel more, and you know. Sometimes you get bogged down in the conversation and you just kind of do like the head nod with people and you don't know what to talk about next. And, I think I could have talked about Dustin's car, or I could have talked about the channel more. and like kept that conversation going, and like had like hey, here's something to go look at.
You got something to talk about. Yeah.
The next thing for improvements, like burnouts, I'm gonna start that off like actually doing a burnout. Like actually making tire smoke and actually like whipping the little bug around. I think Dustin kind of hit on it with a little bit of like not getting stuck, like not getting to a point where you don't know what to do, or like making it up on the fly.
You don't want to do the Ricky Bobby, like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah,
like, I had that like 4 times in 2 minutes.
Yeah, you don't want to make it up on the fly. You want to know what to do.
Yeah, you got to keep your head straight,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey. Stop by anytime, man. Hit me up.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for swinging in and hanging out with us for a little bit and chit-chatting.
See ya.
Really appreciate you, man.
Yeah. So that kind of leads us to the last part of this, which is improvements. It's still under the improvement categories, but this goes to car, like improvements to car. Like for me, it's going to be more horsepower. Like I went there with a stock engine.
Mine's stock too, Jason.
mine's
bigger.
yours is I'm 177 cubic inches. You're 455. So you're like 3 times my engine.
I know you guys have probably heard this before, but Jason probably hasn't. But there's no replacement for displacement.
Yeah. Just don't show up with 177 when dudes are showing up with 454 with 455. But for me, like just getting the thing running and just getting the thing driving was like, a big enough thing. I have a turbo sitting at home. All I need is a cold side for it and some oil drains and a tune in my computer, and I can have a turbo on it. Yeah. And then like his 455 is going to look small.
Yeah, that's cool. Turbos make it so you can pretend you're bigger than you are.
Yeah, but it doesn't help.
And it's fun.
But it doesn't help when it's at home. So like one of the first things that I'm like already working on is getting the turbo on the car, getting the fueling and tuning right on the car.
Yeah.
Well, more so the tuning right, the fuel and the timing, get that nailed down. Then go to a turbo, re-get the timing and the fuel down, and then I should be really good to go on the car.
Yeah.
The only thing else that I really need is like I need front brakes to actually work, and front brakes don't actually work when they're not on the ground. So
and you got drum brakes too. I think you need to. I really think you need to go to disc brakes.
So I can get disc brakes for the front of my Beetle, and then I can also just add a lot of weight to the front of the Beetle, which will kind of plant that front end.
Yeah.
So then it will get up on the back end.
I've been trying to help him brainstorm a lot of that.
Yeah.
You can't just when you add weight to something, you can't just throw 45 sandbags in the trunk of your car or the front of your car.
You can.
You can do that, but it's not effective.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the proper way to do that. If you just load a bunch of weight in the trunk of a car, it just puts all that weight directly on the suspension. Yeah. And it puts it all directly on your springs. Now you have no control. The things, especially when you're trying to do burnouts or even just drive down the highway and you take a corner. Now the back of your car weighs 150 pounds more than the rest of your car, and it's not going to handle. It's not going to control. So you kind of need to plan things out.
Yeah, where we want the weight. So
we've been how to place the weight.
Yeah, we've been working on that. So we've been brainstorming like ways of putting weight on the front without really affecting it too much, or even to the point of like, where would we place it if we want to over affect it?
Yep.
So we've been working on
making things not permanent.
Yeah. And so we've been working on kind of brainstorming some ideas of putting weight on the front. And then also like, I've been working with a motor guide about putting a lot more horsepower in the rear of it.
Right.
So I think I have a pretty solid plan moving forward with Susbug. What about Carmen? I've heard you talk about some pretty wild things.
So Buick 455s are very expensive to
hot rod.
They're not. I wouldn't say they're.
It's not a small block Chevy or a big block Chevy.
Yeah, it's not standard GM stuff. So things are a lot more expensive. If it was a big block Chevy, I could get headers for $100. It's not. They're $1,000.
Yeah.
To find them, I've been hunting around. I mean, I found a guy that has a pair of headers that would probably work for me. Of course, somebody put them in a Regal or something, so they beat one of the pipes half shut.
Oh.
So, and they're rusty and crusty, and yeah, those would work fine for me. They would work great. He wants $600 for them. They're probably worth, I don't know, in my mind, they're probably worth $500. But he's 3.5 hours away. So now do I drive 3.5 hours? Because that's 7 hours of my life gone.
But they don't really make a box that put those
to get a pair of $500 headers that I'm going to have to cut and fix and weld and all this stuff. Like, what do you really do? What is a good source, or I guess, what is an honest way to and responsible way to spend money on horsepower on the car? And so I don't have this, stack of money or an empty, hole of cash that I can just shovel money out of on this project. Because if I had, a big dollar money like Cleetus does, or some of these big giant guys, and I could just go, oh, okay, 20 grand, let's build the best 455 Buick on the planet, then I would do that. Like, I would 100% be willing to do that, but I don't have that budget. You guys don't have that budget. And I don't want to make my viewers and our subscribers and people at home to feel like
that's what you need.
You don't have enough to do this. Like, I literally, that is a stock engine. Like, I drug it out of the weeds. I evicted the freaking mice out of the intake. I got the damn thing running, and I showed up and I did burnouts. It wasn't 800 horse. It wasn't a 632 with a giant blower. Those are super cool. Wish I had one, but it's not. And I still showed up. I still had fun. We were still in the pits talking.
We still had a great time.
We still had a great time.
We met like thousands of great people. Yeah.
So like, I want to upgrade Carmen and I want to go to the next level, but I want to do it responsibly. I don't want to just throw dollar bills at it that I don't have. And I don't want to just be over the top. And so I've been kind of looking around. I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to keep Carmen the way she is right now. I've got some exhaust things coming in the mail. I ordered some mufflers so that I can make her a little bit louder, because I think loud is proud. But anyway, a few little small things here and there to just kind of help make her a little bit better for now, without doing like full engine tear downs or anything crazy like that. Then this winter, I think I'm going to pull the heads off, and I'm either going to get a new set of heads, or I'm going to have these heads redone. I'm probably going to have them redone to stage ones, stage one or stage two. I don't think I can have stock cast iron heads go stage two, but I can do stage one valves, which are the same diameter valves as stage two. Yeah. I just believe stage two has a little bit better flow. And then I have a lower compression pistons. I think it's 8.5 to 1, which, if you're trying to get horsepower out of a naturally aspirated engine, you're going to want a lot higher compression ratio, which, in order to do that, now I got to do the bottom end. I got to buy, pistons. I got to buy, new rods, and I got to buy new bolts, main bearings and bolts and all this other stuff. And it's like, the bottom end isn't bad. So if I live with the lower compression, that also gives me the option of later on going with a blower if I want to put a blower on it. You can find 871, 671 blowers. They're around. The big thing for me is finding an intake that'll bolt on that Buick. Yeah,
that's going to be
They do make them, but again, you got to pay for the stuff.
That might be the one part you have to just buy new.
And I may just have to buy one, but for now, I can have stage one heads. I can get these heads to stage one. I can get headers on it if I can find a decent set of headers. I'm just watching all the swap meets, all the YouTubes, or not YouTube.
If you have a lead on them,
Facebook Marketplace. If anybody out there is a Buick guy and you have a lead on some cheap long tube Buick 455 headers, let me know. I'm willing to buy them. I'm willing to pay to have them shipped. Obviously, I'm not trying to spend $1,000 for new ones, because so it's just not worth it. But I think I can get an intake, maybe work on the carb a little bit, and going forward, as soon as we come out of the winter hibernation next year, I think we can have that 455 at roughly 450 to 500 horse.
That's what I was just going to ask.
Which is a big jump from 315. Yeah. And she'll be way more nasty, way more fun. And then as soon as I can get a hold of a decent used blower and used intake, all I've got to do is toss that stuff on there, because I can swap the cam out to a stage 1 or stage the biggest cam I can run with the factory valve train, because that's kind of my goal, is stage 1 heads, factory valve train, biggest cam I could possibly run. Maybe put a stall converter in it if I need to run a stall. That's no big deal. And then basically I have the engine done and set up and ready. So when I find an intake and a blower, I can just swap the cam out for the blower cam, and I can swap out the intake, slap the blower on it, and we can just rock from there. So because, I mean, that's I don't know, the best use of money, I guess.
Yeah, so that's like from 320 horse to like the next stage would get you to like 420.
Yeah, so,
and then the next stage.
So
would
stage one, stage one with all the fixings will probably get me somewhere around 425 to 475, maybe 500 horse if you really pushed on it and did some tweaking.
And then the blower would get you like another 100.
Yeah, the blower would probably get me like another 25 or 30% on top of that.
Yeah, so that's kind of where you need to be if you want to do like the really good burnouts, is that 500 horsepower mark.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a great plan. I think that's a great plan for getting.
Yeah. Because again, like I said, I'm not trying to go there and win a trophy.
No.
Like if I won a trophy, that'd be great. I would. Trophies are always nice, especially.
You know what? That's what I thought. Like when we first talked about this, I thought going there and winning the trophy was going to be the greatest thing. But man, I'd rather just hang out in the pits and just talk to the people.
I just want to have fun, and I want you people at home to know you can do this.
Yeah,
you can do this.
Yeah, it doesn't take $10,000.
Yeah, and I'm not and you don't have to go buy a worn out pickup truck and take the bed off and show up because there's 17 guys doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, you dare to be different. Be different, but don't go broke. You know what I mean? Pick a goal that's achievable and just make it happen. Now, if you've got the extra cash and you can just have somebody else build the car for you, like, I'm sure we've all seen the TV shows where you can tell that they build a car in 2 days and there's 75 guys working on the car and it ain't the guy that's running the show. We've all seen those shows. We all know that's possible if you have a big enough pocketbook. But, I want people to know you can do it. And just get out there, wrench on your stuff, man, and pick something that's a little out of the norm. And it's cool, and you kind of got the edge on the thing, and then
get uncomfortable,
attract attention. Yeah.
Like pick something that pick a goal that you don't know how you're going to get there, but you're just going to figure it out.
Goals make things happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even just like a prime example is Sussbug here.
Yeah, it would have never been done.
It would have never been done if he didn't have a goal of getting there and doing it. Yeah, he got there and he did the world's smallest burnout, but he showed up and it ran and he did the world's smallest burnout. How many people showed up last year like we did and said, we can do this. And then they didn't. How many people still have a project at home on jack stands? Sussbug sucked at a burnout, and it may have only just chirped the tires once, but that's still better than anything still on jack stands. Yeah, just get out and do it. I mean, it don't have to be perfect.
Just find out.
That's the big misconception is a lot of guys, they tear a project apart. And then they go, well, I want this and this and this and this. Well, by the time they get halfway to that, there's some newer, bigger, better part out there that they have to have. This engine isn't big enough anymore. Or this, these disc brakes aren't the best in the world anymore. So now the project's never going to get done because things always get better. They always get bigger. They always get, whatever. Just have fun and work on your projects. Get them done. I got 12 projects at any given time. Yeah. And you know what? The best thing is about my projects is if I don't have parts for this project, the parts for this one are probably in the shop. Yeah. So, I can't work on this, but I can go over and I can wrench on that. It may, and just do it at your own pace, but get out there and do it. Yeah. Work on it. Have fun. Make friends,
Yeah, hang out in the pits. Talk to the fans. Talk to the other competitors. Talk to everyone. Just have a good time.
Have a good time. I met Cleetus. I met Cleetus and I was like, dude, I brought a car. And he was like, bring it back.
Yeah. So that kind of goes right to our next question. question. Like, we both got to talk to Cleetus.
Yeah. So you didn't talk to him for very long.
No. He literally, I was getting ready to do a burnout, and he ducked his head in the car, and he was like, "This thing's cool." And then he's like, "Can it do a burnout?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he just like looked at me, and he was like, "All right."
He was like, "Not the answer I was looking for." I think he was looking for a hard yes,
it's like,
or 2 thumbs up.
I'm like, "I don't know." And he just like looked at me. It's like, "All right." Such a cool guy. But you talked to Cleetus too.
Super cool. Yeah. So we stood in line.
Sunday.
He was Sunday. He's signing autographs and stuff. So stood in line, chatted with a lot of people in line. Had a good time. Big shout out to everybody I was talking to. And yeah, just kind of shared my story about the car and getting Carmen there and everything like that. Got up, got to Cleetus, and I had him sign my driver's pass. And I was like, "Man, you signed my driver's pass?" He's like, "Yeah, what car were you driving?" I said, "Man, Carmen Electra." And he was like, "Man, that's a big boat. You're throwing that thing around out there." And I said, "Yes, I was. And I'm coming back next year, and I will be bigger and badder." He said, "I need more wheel speed and I need more horsepower." And I told him that I knew that I needed both of those. And he asked if I had rear brakes. And I was like, "Of course not, because, we ain't I didn't spend any money on go slow parts." And then, he said, "Great. Hope to see you next year." And I told him that we would absolutely be back. My son, Matt, he got him to sign the back of his t-shirt. He was super stoked to meet Cleetus. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how those guys stay as friendly and nice as they do, having thousands of people just like waiting in line to just, sign stuff, and just always being happy, nice. I mean, he's putting on the whole event. He's got all this stuff. He's got to sign autographs. He's got to sell merch. He's got to do drivers meetings. I mean, it's just, I showed up on nobody. I got 320 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I mean, people aren't lining up to talk to me, and I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what those guys are dealing with to put these shows on, but 100% respect what they're doing, and appreciate everything and all the hard work they put in.
They're just as cool
trying to make these things happen.
They're
just staying so professional and so cool up front, nice, and
that's what I was just going to say.
Approachable.
Like if I had 100 million viewers, I would hope that I could be just as cool.
Yeah, like I was even nervous to talk to him. He's
and just as personable to everybody that wanted to take their time out of their life to like have a conversation with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he totally is. Like he ran
super cool. Yep.
He ran like halfway down the wall and jumped off of it to come run over to talk to me because I was in a Beetle and he'd never seen a Beetle at a burnout contest.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, he looks at me, he's like, "This thing's cool." And
I think he said, "I've never seen a Beetle do a burnout."
Yeah.
And technically,
it still hasn't.
I mean, I think it did because, like I said, I heard a, but I don't know.
We'll do better.
It is the best Beetle burnout I've ever seen. Well,
at this point,
actually, there is a guy that I've seen do a really good Beetle burnout.
We'll do better. We'll do better.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Cleetus is cool. We both agree.
Super cool, dude. Yep.
Like absolutely greatest show on earth for not only the fans did he put a great show on. He put a great show on for the people participating in it too. Like
that was the thing he asked me. The first thing he asked me when I was like, "Can you sign this?" He said, "What car did you drive?" And I told him Carmen Electra. He said, "Dude, you were swinging that thing around." And then his next words were, "Did you have fun?"
Absolutely.
Did you have a good time? Like he just wants to make sure everybody has a good time. Everybody.
Absolutely.
Like, 100%. So super cool.
So this is a question like out of left field. This is like completely different than all the questions.
Swing.
What did you forget to bring?
Me? I didn't forget to bring anything. I brought too much crap. I actually brought way too much crap. And next time I'm going to bring half as much crap. Yep. There is one thing that I would have liked to bring now that I'm kind of like kicking things around in my head. I would have liked to have brought my electric scooter. So that
been handy.
I could cruise to the bathrooms or to get cheese fries or something. I mean, what would be cooler than me with a GoPro, a handful of cheese fries, and an epic crash? That would be cool. It would totally happen. Might take a pit bike or something, because I noticed a couple guys had some cool pit bikes, and we actually have a mini bike. I have a 70 Augie 87. I think it's Augie 87 mini bike, and I want to put a Predator 212 on it and a stage 1 kit on it, and remove the governor and all that fun stuff. Repaint it. I'm either going to paint it like Carmen or paint it like my old truck or something like that. So I may take that and have it there with a cool header pipe, and then I can ride that to the bathroom. Or
maybe the lawnmower.
Yeah, my redneck mobility scooter. That's the one thing that I think I would have. I like the electric scooter idea, because then the kids can borrow it and they can run to the bathroom or whatever they need.
So for me, like, what did I forget? Like, I forgot camera. Like, I brought a camera, but I forgot to use it. Like, I was so caught up in the moment. I was so caught up in, like, the people and everybody that was there, that like I forgot some of the stuff that, like, I wanted to accomplish, because it was just like, you know, like I'm just like, okay, somebody's asking a question about the Beetle and the VR6. I'm answering the question. And I never thought, like, okay, like, make sure you get this video, make sure you get the dash cam, make sure you got the GoPro on the car, make sure, like, all this stuff's going on. Like, it's like, you think one of these events is like pressure, and
it's insane. It's insane. And you have to try and remember everything.
Like, you're juggling like 15,000 things at the same time. I had a GoPro there sitting in the bed of my truck, and I never even took it out of the bag. I never took it out of the bed of the truck. And it's like, I should have slapped it on the dash. I should have had it running, you know,
on the roof of the car.
Yeah, I should have there's a 1,000 things I should have done with that, and I just didn't, because
walked around, talked to people,
because I was too caught up in the moment. But that was kind of what was cool, was like, there was a lot of really good moments of just like people like showing up and having good times.
And I tried to record as much as I could without going overboard, because I like watching videos. I mean, that's why I'm making YouTube videos, because I like to go on YouTube and I like to watch these big guys and watch their videos and the things that they do. And I don't like the long-term kind of monotonous kind of like, oh, it's just this guy walking around for a half hour. But I do think that next year I am going to have I'll have a camera of some kind, and we'll just walk around. Yeah. And we'll just talk. It'll be a group of us, 4 or 5 guys, whoever goes with us. We're just going to walk around, and one person's going to hold the camera. We'll pass it between people, and we'll just walk around before or after the gates open to the public. Doesn't really matter. And we'll walk around just like everybody else does, and we'll look at Cleetus's cars. We'll talk to people. We'll say, hey,
have good times.
You know, instead of me just sitting there with I guess with my hyperlapse going of the pits, maybe have a camera, and when people come up and talk to me, just record those conversations and then take snippets of those conversations and put them into the main video. So it's, you know, instead of me sitting here, you know, a week later or whatever and telling you guys, I met lots of cool Buick people. It's like, no, show that in the video. Yeah. Here is the Buick guy. Here is a section of our conversation.
Yeah, and here's a 2-minute conversation.
Yeah, here's our 2-minute conversation, or you know what I mean? Like, here's a guy that's a suspect guy. Because I remember multiple people, and it would have been cool to have, you know, be able to share with you guys some of those conversations.
Oh, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. Like, if we just had like a tell me your story box, and you just put people in the box and say, tell me your Volkswagen bug story.
Yeah.
And you just taped everybody's 2-minute Volkswagen bug story.
Or you've got 30 seconds to tell us why you like Carmen Electra, or why you like Susbug.
Yeah.
Or what is not even anything to do with our stuff. Just go, hey, you walked up here talking to us. You've obviously been looking at the other cars right here. What is your favorite car here?
Yeah.
And then you've got 10 seconds to tell us your favorite car and why you like it. And they go, oh, well, I like that, you know, that
you could
C10 Chevy pickup truck over there because I used to have one when I was 16.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. That's cool.
You know, and that kind of leads us like into our last question, like what other cars were cool in the pits?
Well, there's a bunch of cool cars in the pits.
We had a square body step side right beside us that was a beautiful
looked just like mine, except
it didn't have a white top.
And he trashed the freaking side of it. I was like, no, dude, no.
So that was a cool one. But what about the there was the guys with the little Blazer?
Yeah, so Aired Out Racing. Those guys have a YouTube channel. Make sure you go and check those guys.
Those guys
out.
were the coolest guys
Super
ever.
Cool guys. We talked to them a bunch of times.
They
were
talked to us
right behind me
in the
burnout line. And if you go to their YouTube channel, Aired Out Racing, and look them up, and you watch their video of the weekend,
you'll catch a lot of.
Carmen's in there quite a few times. Her back end, the good side.
Those guys,
and,
those guys
came. Cool guys.
Those guys came up to us and they talked to us before the event, and like literally, like any questions we had is like just complete noobs. Like they answered them.
Yeah. I'm trying to find this other guy's contact.
Yeah,
so I'm not.
You do that. I'll just. But like up and they came by multiple times before the event and they talked to us. And they gave us coaching tips and they said, hey, do this. Hey, don't do that. Hey, do this. Hey, don't do that. Hey, follow us. Hey, follow us that. And then we got to the event, like where we're in line, like lined up, like I'm up towards the front of the burnout cars and Dustin's towards the back. And like, literally they walked by and they're like, hey, how you doing, man? And I'm like, I'm freaking out. And he's like, dude, you got this. He's like, you got this. He's like, you're born for this. He's like, you're going to do the best you've ever done. And like, these guys are just like the coolest guys ever.
Yeah.
And then like,
yeah, they were.
And then like after the event, like they showed up at our pits with Modellas.
Yeah, and just hanging out. And they were like, hey, we wanted to come chat with you guys again.
Hey, how'd you guys do? Hey, this is what we did.
Yeah, it was super cool. Fun guys.
Oh my gosh. Just like if those guys lived closer to us, I can guarantee you we'd be hanging out.
Yeah, I think they're I think they said they're North or South Carolina.
Yeah.
They're a long way out.
Either way, like
actually when his song came on, it was Tom Petty and Last Dance with Mary Jane came on. And I was like, oh, there's Jason's song. And so I took off running. And the dude, one of the guys from Aired Out Racing was right behind me, and he was like, the Beetle guy? And I was like, yes. And he was like, oh, I got to see this. And like, we both sprinted all the way to the front. And then we get there and we're like, where's Jason? And I was like, that was his song. He's gone. And I was like, oh, and he was like, man, I hope he did all right. And then we both came back and we were chatting some more and stuff. But yeah, super cool guys. Super fun.
I would 100% would hang out with those guys. And if they were local,
I talked to all of them. So definitely go check out their YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, all their stuff. Super cool guys. They do a lot of stuff. I've already went to their channel, checked them all out. They've got they're doing a bunch of cool stuff over there. Fun stuff. I think actually that Blazer that they were running, if you watch their videos when they're trying to get it ready, they bought it off a guy, and the guy said, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It runs, drives, everything's cool. And then they find out it doesn't even have like freaking head gaskets.
Yeah.
So they had to like tear the heads off of it.
Yeah, somebody
and put head gaskets. Yeah, like it shouldn't have ran.
And then they were having problems with their gear selector. So
they were having problems with their shifter.
So then they got stuck in a corner. Like I remember watching their burnout, and they get stuck in a corner. I'm like, oh no! And then my brother's like, what? My brother was sitting beside me at this point, and my brother's like, what? And I'm like, they have problems with their gear selector. They're not gonna be able to get out of the corner. So they just like parked it against the wall and just burn them off.
Yep.
So
yeah, that was fun.
Look, those guys were super cool.
Those guys were cool. I talked to a Buick guy.
Oh, this guy was super cool too.
Super cool.
So when you go someplace with a Buick and some dude shows up with the Grand National with the little swirly thing on it, like you know this dude's going to be into a 455 in a Buick.
Buick guys are Buick guys. They know. I mean, these engines are no slouches. They're you know what sucks is the affordability as far as hypo parts, but the motors are cool. The cars are super cool. The guy's got a bunch of cool Buicks cars. He was actually in the street car shootout or whatever it was. Man. He was running his car. It's a 67 GS and it's super cool car. Go check out his YouTube channel. It's One Shot Garage, and in between one and shot, it's an underscore.
So I'll put underscore shot.
Yep, and I'll put the links to these guys' channels in the description here. I should have put them in there before, but we were running a little late, and I didn't get them in there. But I'll get them in there. Make sure you go check out his channel and check out the cool Buicks and stuff he's working on. Big shout out to him. I enjoyed talking to him, and hanging out and discussing Buick stuff because they're just, there aren't a whole lot of Buick guys there. I mean,
you're either a Buick guy or you're not a Buick guy.
I like Buicks. My grandpa always had, or my uncle's got a bunch of Buicks. He's a big Buick guy. And my grandpa had a Buick that he gave me when I was a kid. I should have never sold it, but I didn't have the space, the time, the money. Anyway, long story, long gone. But now I got a 455 big block Buick. So, whatever.
So those were like those were just guys in the pits.
And they're just people we were talking to. And
see, that's where I would tell you, like, if you think that you could build a car, like, do it 100%.
Build it 100%.
Like, do not even question like, oh my gosh, the whole world's gonna be against me. No, everybody is for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Even everybody in the pits is for you. Like, that was the coolest thing of the whole show.
Yeah, it was. It was a ton of fun. I don't regret any of it, except for maybe the hotel that we chose, because I booked us a hotel that was fairly sketchy. I'm not going to go into a ton of details, except I will tell you that we went to get extra towels and they only had 2. And to get there, a guy was down there trying to fight with everybody in the lobby. And then we were trying to take the elevator because we were on the 2nd floor, and we got stuck in the elevator for almost 10 minutes with no refreshments. And I'm like, hey, if I call the cops, are they even going to come and try to rescue me in this elevator? I don't know. And it looked kind of like a horror movie elevator. And we were stuck with this random kid from the hallway. And he seemed to be a little concerned about it too. And he obviously, it wasn't his first night. We went down to the hot tub. The hot tub was, it was a hot tub. I'm not going to go any further than that. We did meet a lot of cool people at the hotel that were going to Cleetus and Cars, fans of Carmen. They checked the car out. They subscribed to the YouTube channel, chit-chatted with us, told us stories and things like that. So again, it doesn't really matter where you go. You're always going to run into cool people that are fans or a part of whatever you're putting together or trying to put together or be a part of. So anyway, my wife said next year, less sketchy hotel. So I will make sure that.
Was it sketchier than the year before at the Airbnb?
Yes. And the year before, we stayed in an Airbnb in a mobile home park. And when we showed up, I'm pretty sure there were people fist fighting over pizza.
Domino's pizza,
which I would fight over because Domino's makes some good pizza. Domino's makes some good pizza.
I ain't punching nobody for a piece of Domino's.
And the cheese sticks are really good.
Okay.
Anyway,
we
thought that place was sketchy, but no, this hotel's way sketchier.
Nobody ended up with no bites.
Yeah, we were good. But definitely a better hotel next year. That's the main requirement from my wife and family, and actually basically everybody. I agree, and I'll sleep on some sketchy stuff. I was like, kind of don't want to be here.
I didn't stay with him this year because the year before was so sketchy.
He's like, I don't trust this guy to book anything.
I'm not. He's like, we got a hotel. You want no?
Yeah, I don't want any part of that.
No.
So anyway, I guess we'll kind of wrap this up. We went an hour here. I just want to tell everybody. I think what we're going to do going forward is we're going to try and do a YouTube live once a month, probably the same time, Sunday nights at 7:00.
Yep.
I'm not 100%. I'm not going to put it on the board as 100% gold standard, but that's kind of what we're shooting for right now. If we find a little bit better time that works better for my schedule or Jason's schedule or your guys' schedule, let us know in the comments if this time works good or what time would work better. Then we're going to try and do that going forward. We'll do one YouTube live a month, and we'll just give you guys updates on builds, whatever we're working on, whatever
we're talking about,
or whatever we're going to be going to. What kind of, I don't know, lost a finger or something. You just don't know what's going to happen, but we'll try and do that.
Do you really ever lose a finger? Because you pretty much know where it could win.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I usually do the finger check before I leave the shop, just in case.
Just in case.
Leave it somewhere. But anyway, try and do one of these once a month for you guys. And if it gains traction and people want more, then we can step that up. If not, we'll just continue to do once a month and just chit chat with you guys, because it's nice interacting with people, talking with people, chit chatting, and seeing what everybody else is doing. Maybe drop a line in the comments and let us know what projects you guys have, or if you have plans to go find projects, or you're going to go to Cleetus and Cars next year and meet us in the pits, or bring your own car and give me a run for my money. Like, I mean, I know I'm probably not going to get first place, but I don't know. You want to wager $10 or something on some cheese fries? Because I can put out some tire smoke. But anyway, all jokes aside, guys, just want to let you guys know that. That's kind of our plans going forward. We are going to be doing Night of Destruction. We're going to try and line up some more events for the rest of the year. And we've got some other projects coming. We're going to start working on painting my Camaro. And I've got an LS motor that I need to pull out of a Tahoe. And then I need to, move the rest of the carcass on down the street. So we got the LS there, and I got a plan for that. I may put that on the front of a Turbo 400 I have laying around and try and shoehorn it in a convertible Studebaker. I'm not 100% on that yet, but as of right now, that's kind of my game plan going forward. I don't want to run all the fuel injection stuff like Jason's doing, because I like carburetors and I like the old school look. So I think if I do this, I'm going to take this LS, and you can wire up the coil packs, and then I want to put like tunnel ram. I like carburetors way up in front of the windshield where, when you're driving down the road, you remember you have one. Don't want to forget where the engine is. It's right out here. But anyway, that's kind of a little thing I got running in my head. I mean, I probably won't get to it for a little while. But videos, projects, things we got going. And we'll keep you guys up to date on all that stuff. It was great talking with everybody in the pits, hanging out.
Absolutely.
Big shout out to everybody. I know I've said it 100 times, but friends, family, people that we talked to in the pits, people that bought merch, people that subscribed to the channel to support us, everybody we gave stickers to that let us give them stickers and business cards, and just everybody in general that was so nice, so cool to talk to, and so much fun to hang out with. And we had a blast, and we're definitely going to do it again. We're going to have tons of fun. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about the YouTube channel. If you want any merch, we got hats. I've got these hats. I got pit hats. I got T-shirts. We still have some shirts left over from the event. I'm willing to get all that stuff to you. I know we don't have a storefront yet. I'm working on that currently, but it's a lot of work trying to figure out the best way to do it for a super tiny channel, because we don't have, we don't have the numbers, and we don't have the big, budget or anything crazy like that. But if you want a hat, or you want a shirt or something like that, just get a hold of me, message me on either Facebook Messenger through our page there, or the YouTube channel, and I'll make sure I get stuff to you guys. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon. And Redneck Hobbit's back. Well, guess what? We're getting ready to leave. But a big shout out to Redneck Hobbit too. Remember, I'll put his information in the description as well, so you guys can go check out his channel, subscribe to him. I think he's going to help me work on my pit bike, and then we're going to get the little mini bikes going, and I don't know, maybe drag race or something. Winner loser buys onion rings.
Onion rings.
Yeah, onion rings. Can't go wrong with onion rings. But anyway, until next time, guys, keep on wrenching. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
End it. I gotta pee so bad.